Dear Bhante, many thanks for your teachings. I was told that my mother was not going to live much longer, and that has made me very distraught. I understand I'm very attached to her, as I've been her caretaker for several years. Could Bhante please advise on how to best practice with separation from the loved ones? I would like to make it my main practice.
Okay, my dear family. The first thing that I have to say is that, my dear sister, we are together. We are together in this journey of life. It is the same for all of us. It has been like that in the past. People have faced similar situations. It is right now, and it will be on the future. So the first thing I wish to offer as a brother, and I will say as all of us as family, as Dhamma family, is this support. We are together in this same journey. It is like this. Yes, the body, as long as we have body, it is bound to get old. It is bound to get sick and eventually cease, because that's part of nature. We make peace with it. No problem. No problem. Still, right now we have a great opportunity, and we go together. Second thing that I wish to acknowledge is to say a big sadhu, 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 because you are mentioning that you have been taking care of Mama for some time already. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu for the wholesome seeds that has been planted in speech, in deed, and in thought. And actually, that's one of the highest, the Buddha said, the highest kind of merit that as children we can do, as we can never repay the debt we have towards our parents. So really, really sadhu, we walk together. So let's explore. I will give some, I thought about this question, and I will try to give some perspective, bringing some of the things that I have heard from the teachers, and we explored. They might not be a clear-cut answer, but definitely perspective will be, and also some instructions that I have heard from teachers. One of the things that we can explore first is that actually there are, in the question or in the situation, as far as I understand, there are two different processes happening. The personal one that was mentioned, the difficulty because of the attachment, and that is natural. It happens that we are attached to the people that is close to us, either because of gratitude, the experiences we have had, and there is another process which is the part of Mama, accompanying her, taking care of her. And now something to put priorities right now. If she is her health is decreasing, it is very important, the second process, accompanying her, and we need to take care of both, but right now can be focused on her accompaniment for having a dignified and wholesome ending of the journey. So, as the saying goes, divide and conquer. We need to have very clear both of the processes, because if they are together, sometimes the mind develops doubts, and we don't know what to do. So now it will be good to accompany her. And how would that be the best way? As the Buddha said, and I have heard from teachers saying, what would be the best way? I'm sure that the physical necessities might be covered, like the medicine or the care that needs to be around, contact to doctors and whatever possible. I suppose it will be available. But the best thing as children that we can do, the Buddha described, is that if we can help our parents to give the next step in three areas, in Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. The Buddha said that it will be the greatest gift or the greatest service that as children we could do for our own parents. So how to inspire them in the way possible, in the conditions that are available, to better morality, to mental stability, which will be needed for the person that is sick. Anybody of us who gets sick, mental stability will never be too much. For the family, mental stability, and also wisdom. And here is where the Buddha's teaching will be very helpful. So how can we do with our parents, even in sickness? Help? I have some ideas because I have tried them with my own grandmother. My own grandmother, as you can imagine, she don't understand very well why I dress as I dress and why I don't have hair and what am I doing in the monasteries and all that. She is Catholic. So when I went back, she's sick. She's still alive. She's sick. And then I thought, how can we have contact? I cannot explain clearly. Also, her memory is getting quite short. So it will be very difficult. So one way that I found how to remembering this instruction from the Buddha, the best gift for our parents is to inspire them to give the next step in Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Good for them, good for us. I got an idea and it really worked. I say, Mama, can you give me a blessing? Because she does it very beautifully, Catholic way. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo, I bless you, and all that. Very long and very beautiful. And she was with the face like this. And when I asked her, Mama, can you give me your blessing before I leave? Oh, you could see her face changing a lot. So then I asked, after I said, Mama, I will ask you something, please to do for me. Would you do something for me? And then she said, yes. Okay, in the morning, don't just send a blessing to me. Please bless all of us, all of the family. Oh, definitely, I already do. Okay, so please remember. And then I asked her to do it for other beings. You can extend it. So one of the things, if Mama already knows about the Buddha's teaching, sending metta together in the morning, in the middle of the day, even for close relatives or for our own health, for ourselves, that would be a very easy way to inspire and change the environment, not to get obsessed about the situation, which I understand, and I can only imagine how difficult that might be in the environment, economically, emotionally, for the movement of the family. I can only imagine, but I am together. But it will definitely change the environment. If Mama is feeling better or have a more wholesome mental state, that would make much better for everybody, even for her own health, because the mind and the body is connected. So who knows? Maybe it will have less pain, because as we know, when the mind is in negativity, even very small pain is experienced very big. So keep the mind as wholesome as possible. And that is one direct instruction for us as children to try the best way that we can support somebody who is sick or even dying. Another thing that I will now, it will become a bridge. Another thing that I will, it's a logic for all of us to practice with our parents, will be gratitude. Letting them know in the most elegant way, at the right time, letting them know, if it is not done before, how grateful we are about them, what they did in our lives. And that in itself, making evident how much good they did to me or to our siblings or to our grandchildren or my own kids or whatever, that will make her mind beautiful already, because it is proven scientifically that actually, more than practicing gratitude, when somebody expresses gratitude to us, oh, the brain lights up with, it is the best gratitude practice. When somebody tells us, thank you for this, it is much more deeper. So that's another way that we can make her mind beautiful, which we need to do until the end. That is the instruction that the teachers give, because as we know, whatever mental state is present before the passing away, that will give part of the conditions for whatever comes next. That's why the teacher said, remind the person who is sick or dying their good deeds. Now, we need to be very careful here, my dear family, because if it is not the right moment or the right way of saying, that might bring some melancholy or sadness to the people, or even some fear. We need to know the people very well. If somebody suddenly, everybody comes and starts saying, oh, thank you for this, thank you for that, the person might get worried or something. So please, my dear family, let's use common sense. Do it in an elegant way, soft way, at the right time. Express the gratitude. And another thing that will be very useful now, going to the second stage of the process, the personal, how to deal with the letting go. If possible, ask for forgiveness. Don't keep things pendant. Because later on, for the detachment, later on, if we have some remorse, oh, I didn't say this, or I did this and I never apologized, that will make the detachment later when the person, which is part of nature, eventually we will all go, no problem. But when it happens, now we need to take care of ourselves after we took care of the person that was leaving. If we didn't do this, it will become the process much more difficult. Also, if we can, at some point, offer forgiveness, be very careful in the right moment with as much elegance as possible, that it doesn't feel too serious. Something that can be in a light comment, but it is spoken already. We will be free, they will be free, the mind will be lighter, and that will help even for the health. Again, mental state really, really benefits the health of the body. So no regrets. And then later on, when time passes and nature takes its course, we will deal now only with the loss. And that is a process that we will need to be supported. But we will have the satisfaction that whatever was necessary to be done physically, the medicine, the medical care, the attention, the feeding, whatever was necessary was done. There were no things unsaid. I love you. Thank you very much. So please be sure that it is done at the right time. No regret. And that will have already a lot towards the recovery for the loss. Because imagine, if that is not covered, plus the loss, oh, there will be regret. I said, we understand the logic of it. So we accept the ways that nature are. And I will recommend later on for the detachment, which is part of the main question that was raised, be surrounded by a good, if possible, by a good supporting network of family and friends, people that you trust, sometimes even 2 or 3. We don't need so many people that we trust, people who is willing to listen, because we will need patience. My dear family, is the source of suffering, is what keeps us in samsara, so we cannot underestimate it. I have experienced loss in the past, and believe me, as we all know it, it's very sticky. Attachment is very sticky. So we will need more patience than what we need. There are many tools, and even psychology, there are some stages of grieving. Allow the mind to grieve. But as I mentioned last time, yes, we can get sad, but as my friend says, but only get half sad. So choose one side. Okay, may my right side get sad, or may my left side get sad. And the other side, always with the head up and smiling. If you're gonna get sad, it's okay, but only the half. Okay, it's a deal. So surround yourself by a good network. Take the tools of grieving and loss. There are 5 steps that are very well researched in modern psychology. At the beginning, there is some degree of denial, which that might be happening at some degree. We don't want to believe. Then the mind enters in some sadness. Then the mind might experience some anger because we don't understand. And later on, the mind starts making deals. Okay, start accepting, and eventually is free. So you can also look at that. Now, continuing, what did the Buddha provided towards this topic? He spoke lengthily. So let's bring, is everybody okay? Everybody okay? The person who did the question, I imagine, is present. It's okay. Okay, we continue. We are together. No problem. We explore. Let's bring some wisdom of the Buddha. And he was direct. He also said, and this will help for the detachment. He did it because of that. He said, all of us are still of the nature to grow old, to get sick, and to die. He wanted us to be familiar with it and understand that that's something that happens to all of us and will continue to happen. So no problem, nature is like this. What am I going to do with this opportunity? That is what becomes very interesting. It is very precious. So now, even spiritually, we will have less time to waste because, oh no, I cannot spend so much time in the phone because, wow, this opportunity is much more precious. So we need to reach to get used to this, make peace with life, and develop acceptance. One question that helps me a lot especially dealing with attachment, is from this situation, what is the thing that I don't accept yet? Oh, the mind immediately gives the answer. So that thing, we need to start working with it, isolate the problem, and start polishing. Some other question that helps me a lot: does this happen only to me, or is it natural to happen in the world? Wow. Everything is not. If it happens in the world, it happens to everyone. So it is natural. We are not an exception. So we bring this kind of acceptance and realism that will help for the detachment. If we deny nature, if we try to fight against nature, we will never win. The universe is very, very big. Another thing to add is that acceptance is not passivity. If we accept something, that doesn't mean that we won't take care of ourselves or others. No. We continue trying our best for the benefit of all. That will help for the detachment to be a realistic, know that it's just part of nature. It happens and will happen to all of us. And my dear family, learn as much as we can right now. Because whatever we see on the other, it will come to us eventually. So it will be very precious what things work and what don't, because we will be. It's not we might be under different conditions, but we will face that moment again. What will this, my dear family? I think it's a very precious opportunity for learning. We will need all this learning later on. May we all make peace with nature. And I want to end up with some instructions, very clear instructions that I have heard from the teachers, which are the best way that we can accompany somebody who is very sick or is about to pass away. As I mentioned already, and it's very important, keep the mental states of the person as wholesome as possible, reminding their good actions in the past with gratitude, love, inspiration for goodness, morality. Make some offerings together, even offering some flowers, whatever belief the person have, if it is God or the Buddha, whatever, let's offer some flowers, so that something that we know the people becomes with the mind lighter and more wholesome. Do it at the right time. And another thing that the teachers prescribe is, even if we feel it, there is nothing wrong about crying, but if we feel like crying, it will be better not to do it in front of the person. Take your time, go out of the room, cry, get support from the family, friends, or even person around if necessary, or by oneself. And whenever the crying finishes, then we come back, because we don't want to make the people sad. We want to keep the wholesome state as much as possible. And also the teacher said, if crying would help the situation, then and only then may the wise will or cry. Also, another thing that I have heard from the teachers is assure the person that everything is gonna be okay. Things are well covered. The family, do not inspire for anything else. Just say everything is okay. Everything is okay. Very often, I have seen in personal experience, what keeps the person from letting go and holding towards the body and even in sickness is the mind, the non-desire of living. But as soon as the person kind of understand, yes, it's gonna be okay, the mind releases, and that even helps in the case of for nature to follow its course. So all these, I know, my dear families, are very delicate things. May we all be elegant, choosing the right words and the right moment, and find the support from family. Lastly, once the person is gone, instructions that the teachers say: first, the person who was taking care, take rest. Really sleep, eat well, and recover. I have seen in my own family how demanding taking care of somebody is. So please take care now, and don't wait until then, but even now, give spaces, take a walk, talk to friends, do some hobby from time to time. Even if it is very demanding, the taking care, we need to take care also of our mind. Remember the good qualities of the person who passed away, and that will be the best way to remember them, honor them, and then make merit on their name. As we know, as a very Buddhist practice, we will do good in their name, beauty for their journey, beautiful for us. Elegance until the end, dignity until the end. We take the best opportunity of this. We still can learn and accompany. And I want to offer again, my dear sister and everybody, feel free to access, come to the monks, the teachers, feel supported. We are all living in this same adventure. And sadhu, sadhu, sadhu for all the merit and service that is being done for Mama. Thank you very much. As a brother, as a son, thank you everybody. May we all choose wisely. We continue together.